Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Update. My name's Elijah, and this is some trailer talk for the newest Call of Duty trailer, the reveal trailer for Call of Duty World War II, simply titled Call of Duty World War II. And I'm glad they're going back to their roots because that's when I first played Call of Duty. That's the first time I was even interested in Call of Duty, even in the slightest. Call of Duty 2 on PC. Solid game, amazing stuff. But since then, after Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2-ish in that area, I've been vehemently opposed to the Call of Duty franchise, and not in the sense where like I haven't played them or like I just don't enjoy their multiplayer. I like usually more sci-fi, spacey kind of stuff like Halo and Titanfall, ridiculous nonsense, less than realistic stuff. But this trailer has me interested, and I have played the campaigns for some of the other games that have come between Modern Warfare and then Advanced Warfare and a bunch of other ones. But I played the campaigns because I just want to see what they're doing. They do great set pieces in Call of Duty. They sometimes get big name actors, but ultimately I feel like their gameplay, the stuff that they do in multiplayer, because the game is tuned for multiplayer and so great at multiplayer and the zombie mode and all that, that I feel like the single player, though it is bombastic and loud and large, it loses out on what the gameplay ultimately is like, because it's like monster closet, or bad guy closet, like, kill a certain amount of guys, move forward, or like the guys just keep coming until you move forward kind of stuff. So I've never really felt like the gameplay in Call of Duty has satisfied me, and maybe that's just because they're just regular humans that you're fighting, and there's not a lot of distinction between them and what they're wearing. And I know that's solved in some of the future games, the Advanced Warfare and the Future Warfare and all that nonsense. But like in Halo, oh, I see a Jackal, they got a shield, I got to shoot around that. I see a Grunt, I know where to shoot. I see an Elite, I see I like the variety. And even Destiny has some of that. Or I don't know, I like spacey stuff more than in my shooters than I like realistic things. But we're going to talk about the trailer and all the things they announced. So it's coming out November 3rd, and the reason I want to talk about this game is because I'm actually excited to play it. Band of Brothers is one of my favorite things in the universe, and I don't know why it doesn't get more love. TV critics or people just, they never, when they talk about Wire and Sopranos and all these other great shows, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, Lost, all this stuff, they never put Band of Brothers on there. And I'm looking over here because I have my Band of Brothers collection edition, and I love it, and Band of Brothers is amazing, and World War II is so interesting to me. It's so rich. There's so much that happened there. It's so important to history and all the things. And I loved when they were doing all the World War II games and they were just mining it for content. And that was a long time ago, more than 10 years ago when they were doing it. So now the graphics, that's the first thing I want to say about this trailer. Wow, is it pretty. The water looked amazing. And, this stuff, they're using the term visceral and like it looks bloody and crazy, and I love the messaging that they're saying, that they're getting rid of the superheroes, and that's kind of what Call of Duty has become, these superheroes just running around just like, we're super soldiers, whatevs, and like, even though we're just regular people, we're super soldiers basically. They said they're getting back to the roots, and it's going to be more personal, about the bonds, and then have a horror feel to it, because war is horrific. It's not fun. It's not run around and shoot. It's bloody, it's scary, it's crazy. And Hacksaw Ridge, the movie with Andrew Garfield, directed by Mel Gibson, like that really illustrated that to me. It's like, whoa, war's not cool. Like we should just not. So there's a game and we're gonna play, and I hope that it does tackle a lot of things. They said that they're gonna deal with feminism and racism and like a bunch of they're saying all the right stuff, and I'm like, this is really interesting. I wouldn't expect this from Activision, Call of Duty, and Sledgehammer Games. But fingers crossed. They're talking a big game, and I hope they deliver because, like I said, I'm a big fan of Band of Brothers, and this was just looking like a Band of Brothers video game to me, and I couldn't be more happy. Like, that's all I want in my life. I want a Band of Brothers video game. So let's talk more about some of the things that were in the trailer. Like I said, the set pieces looked great. They're going to do a lot of the big theaters of war. They specifically talked about the Battle of the Bulge and Normandy Beach, all of that, those conflicts. I hope that they get into the stuff that happened in Bastogne, the forest conflicts, some of the stuff further into Germany. I think that's an interesting area as well, to source or to have campaign areas. You're a part of the first infantry, so that is more ground-based activity, front lines type of action. I do hope that there is variety. See, that'd just be weird because in World War One, for Battlefield, the Battlefield 1, they had you jumping around between different protagonists, and that made doing the plane sections or the train sections or the tank sections that made it make sense. So in this game, if you're a first infantry soldier, I don't know if it's going to make sense that you get into these other vehicles or do these other activities. So I wonder if they will ever jump around or jump perspectives, at least for like certain missions or one-off things. Now, they announced some of the cast: Josh Duhamel from Transformers, Jonathan Tucker from The Kingdom, Jeffrey Pierce from, and so not. Not as big names as Kit Harington of Jon Snow fame. Maybe they are big, and they are equally big names. I don't know. Who am I to say? But they announced that they always got to have the big names. But yeah, so ditching the superheroes for humanity is a cool theme or a cool mission or goal for Sledgehammer. I'm pretty excited about that. They talked about having a co-op campaign that they're not revealing yet, but it's separate from the main campaign. And then they kind of teased that it might be dealing with the zombies stuff. So that's very intriguing to me. They haven't talked too much about the multiplayer yet, other than teasing like a war mode, which seems like it might be more objective-based, where you're either the Axis or Allies, so maybe eating Battlefield's lunch here and doing things like, hey, if you take this front and you flank this side, you do this, and like maybe it's like a map that's like changing and like it's like territories. Like if it could just be Risk mixed with Call of Duty multiplayer, like that would be dopage. That would all like I just want Risk plus that, and like you're just taking over different zones of areas, and that'd be some cool stuff. The thing with World War II is like it's still not trench based, but there's like still a lot of position getting and moving, and I just wonder if they're gonna like have a lot of the tactics in there that these wars had back before it got more guerrilla style in the warfare. The interesting thing that they talked about was the bases, or they showed like a screenshot of this. Essentially, it seems like the tower from Destiny kind of thing, where it's like a hub where you can socially interact, but like people just like walking around as you travel to multiplayer, select your multiplayer, or whatever you want to do. It just seemed like a hub to do nonsense. It seems like they're really going all out with this Call of Duty. If there's this war mode, the regular multiplayer, the zombies, the thing. I mean, that's the thing that I need to commend them on. And even though I'm not a fan of the series, or like I think that it's, even though millions of people play it and it's like one of the biggest gaming franchises out there, it's not for me because I'm like, oh, support the indies. Like Call of Duty gets enough. Like I'm so up my butt about that nonsense. But I will commend them because they pack these things full to the gills with content. Like charging $60 for what you got in Titanfall 1 versus charging $60 for what you get in most Call of Duty games, it like there's a dearth of content. Like it's ridiculous. It's this trench deeper than the Marriott, like just whatever. It's crazy. So I commend Activision for packing these things with content, and of course they need to get their money on the back end with DLC and maps and all that stuff. But honestly, like these games are packed with content, and they never stray away from doing a single player campaign, and I think they should. They should just do a platform based Call of Duty that's like, hey, it's just multiplayer this year, but you're going to get all these maps and all this mode, and like we're going to do all these tournaments, and I think that'd be an interesting route for them to go. Like in between, like every year, it's like a main one with single player and then a off multiplayer shoot. That's what I think Activision should do. But hey, who am I to say? We were talking about the bases mode, but I just wanted to congratulate them on how much they put in these games, because it's a lot of content. And if they're going to add some vehicle fighting modes too, like that would rock my life. That'd be cool. Maybe that can get me on board. But I definitely want to play the campaign. I'm interested. It looks good. It looks cool. Graphically, I just hope that they can break out of the box that they've had for their single player for so long and do some new things and interesting things. And I think it's going to all be tied to the relationships you have with your squad mates, because I think it's very important in World War II, the relationships between the soldier to soldier, boots on ground, as they were saying in the trailer, interactions, basically. I really think that that's important. They didn't talk too much about classes. They said there's divisions like infantry and armor, and so I think they'll get more. And it sounds like they're going to eat a lot of Battlefield's lunch, or try to. And why wouldn't you? That's your main competitor, so why not try to steal the thing that people love them for doing? You probably have to do this because that's the game. That's video games. I mean, that's how it works. Hulu steals from Netflix, steals from Amazon. They all. It's all Facebook, Snap. They're all like one thing now. Like I got on Instagram yesterday and it was like, "Hey, send people disappearing pictures." And I was like, "Girl, that's Snapchat. What you trying to do, Instagram?" And yeah, they're all just going at each other. So I commend Activision for this. It is a gaming feat. It's an achievement. I'm glad they employ so many people in the gaming industry to make these games. And it's cool that these games fund all the other fun projects that Activision might want to do, or fund indies, or fund them giving an indie developer a chance. So even though I don't like Call of Duty, I personally don't support the games with my dollar bills. I appreciate everyone who does, because it makes the gaming industry healthy and rich and still out there. Even if I think the campaigns are kind of meh, like, not for me. Don't like the gameplay. It's still awesome. And I look forward to this one because World War II is one of my favorite source materials, and I can't wait to play, hopefully, an emotionally affecting story in that. So this is Trailer Talk for Call of Duty World War World War II. Please tell me what you think. Leave a comment down below. Tell me if you are excited by the trailer. If you don't like the trailer, tell me what you think. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, Trailer Talk, TV recaps, news, videos. We talk about stuff. We talk about things here at the What's Update. But my name's Elijah. You have a great day. Keep smiling. More videos coming very soon. All right. Bye.